reflect Sao Paulo, Brazil. The film you've just seen was some excerpts from a spot on Brazilian TV news featuring our visit. Sao Paulo is a bustling city full of tall towers and jam-packed roads. We have become familiar with the lush Brazilian countryside as we travelled east each day from the city to visit the weekend retreat where many of our Brazilian counterparts had gathered from all parts of the country. We had made many friends during the weekend, sharing a common Christian love. It was easy to be full of enthusiasm in such a beautiful place, surrounded by people in joyful celebration.
Our final full day dawned with another early start, followed by a dazzling journey over a mountain range south of Sao Paulo to visit a Salvation Army project working primarily with children in the favela of Humatown City. The members of the band will never forget the time spent with the people from the favela, who live in almost unbelievable hardship in a vast community on the outskirts of the city. Half of that particular favela that you just saw is built on stilts over a swamp, with waste and litter sat stagnant under the precarious wooden walkway that picks its way between the huts. When the river waters rise in times of flood, which is basically every year, then the huts built on the stilts are swamped with water and waste.
But in that adversity, the Salvation Army was working from a centre called Vila dos Pescadores, which means the home of the fishermen. Their work is mainly with the children and young people of the community. At the centre, we met a number of friends we had made in such different circumstances in the weekend celebrations at the camp. They had been praising God with music and dance in the mountains, and now they brought that same love and enthusiasm to the favela.
While the community was clearly desperately poor, the villa was a place of fun and happiness. As you saw, we experienced fabulous singing and dancing from the children in the project, and joined with them as Susan Stewart and her family taught them one of the songs that our children sing here. As you saw, the band joined in the dancing and singing, trying to bridge the language divide, though what on earth the children thought of some of our very British dad dancing efforts was probably better.
We left the children to take a tour of the favela. Our guide who lives and works there was able to give us a real sense of the challenge both the army and community face. The Salvation Army was started there by Margaret England, a British missionary, who moved to live in the community and help the children who were left for many hours, as schooling is for only half a day.
She was later joined by some of the locals, one of whom had lived there as a child, but her family had literally been able to earn enough to move across the railway track from the favela into the city. However, she didn't forget where she'd come from, and the people who lived there, and when she had the chance, she moved back and joined the Army's work. The project now includes a youth education programme with teenagers, and after-school support for infants and primary-age children.
The area is without most of the structures of society that we take for granted, such as government welfare and social support. And the Army is vital to ensure that the children have both basic care daily and a choice in their future of where to live and what to do, by teaching them skills in crafts and computing. Please watch this short clip that features some of the work in Vila dos Pescadores.
Our original building, Vila dos Pescadores, which translates into village of fishermen, it's quite a violent area, there's a lot of drug trafficking, people disappear without trace, and it's sometimes quite a hot environment to live in. A lot of innocent people are caught up in the middle of this, and most of these innocent people are the children and the teenagers that we're serving. So it's quite a challenge to be in the middle of this without getting involved one side or the other. The modern house in Vila dos Pescadores is a wooden shack to you or me, and it's built on top of a swamp. It's actually a tidal swamp instead from the Atlantic, but as you can see from the photos and the experience, the water, there's no sewage. The biggest challenge we find here is the social divide. From the area where they live, because there's a lot of people who have actually got a wrong idea just because of where they live, who they are. So we're trying to actually build better citizens of them. We're trying to make them realise that they can make a difference themselves. I think firstly these children will be socially excluded because of where they come from. And let's be honest, it's not their fault that they're born or they live where they live. It's obviously a choice that their parents have made for them. We're trying to break that idea. If Salvation Army wasn't here, who would be doing that? That's the question that we pose. But the children are coming here to take them away from the influence of drug trafficking and such like that goes on in the community where they live. So they come here to play games, educational games, do their homework, do arts and craft activities such as painting on boards, knitting, crocheting, jewellery making, and we started an English lesson as well. We know from experience in our first building, the original building, that some of the children, the only meal they get, or the only food nutrition they get when they come to us. This is an important point that we're trying to obviously deal with quickly in this new building that we're actually on.
Work in Cubitown, as you saw there, is continued now by local officers, Captains Juliano and Kelsimar Santos, along with their family, who the band all met when we were over there. Having shared such a special time with the people there and been so amazingly touched, we now wish to support them practically by helping to complete some building work that they're doing to the youth centre and the quarters, which is estimated to cost around £3,800. We at the Regent Hall are humbled each year by the generosity that you, the visitors to our house services, show. And we know that with the giving you will undertake today, you can have a hugely positive effect on people's lives.
The Vila in Cubitown is a community founded on self-reliance. In this instance, they just need a helping hand to build the infrastructure that would enable the Salvation Army to deliver vital projects to help children and young people develop the skills that will serve them well through the rest of their life. Please give generously as we think about Regent Hall's newest friends in Cubitown City. Thank you.